I fell in love with the plug. I fell in love with the plug. I fell in love with the plug. He be showing me so much love.
You are now plugged in with another B.O.B. They say blacks have less. Well, let's come together for success. My name is Bruce Wilson.
And I'm Justin Shelton. And our black business owner for today is...
Leron Gray.
Leron, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Much, man. Appreciate you guys taking the time to have me out. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, Leron, can you let the viewers know the name of your company and where it's located?
Absolutely. So, the company is Go Hard Training Systems. It's a fitness and performance company, and we're here in the Richmond area.
Go Hard Training Systems. I like the sound of
Man,
that.
you gotta go right with it, man. You can't play around with it.
Y'all must get it in.
Hey, look, I let everyone that I work with know it's gonna be something out of your norm, but at the same time, it's gonna be something very beneficial. So, looking forward to explaining that to y'all more. Absolutely.
That's good. That's good.
Why should the viewers that are watching, why should they support your company?
The biggest thing for my company is it sets itself apart because we look at your overall health. So it's not just, okay, I want to make sure that you're eating right, because it's been countless times where people, they stick to strict diets, and that's great because some stuff works. You have to eat within certain ranks, but at the same time, if you get bored with it, we're going back to that commitment. You're not going to stay focused on it. So we focus on the overall health of that individual by making sure we know their likes, dislikes, their strong points, weak points, making sure that we cooperate the program with them instead of making them fit the program, because each individual is very different. Like, there are 3 gentlemen up here. We all are different height, shape, sizes. The way that we squat and everything is going to be completely different. So if we had a program that came in and someone sat it on the table and was like, hey, do this, all 3 of us are going to get completely different results. You know what I mean? And some problems may come up with that. So I focus on making it as personable and personal as possible.
The atmosphere in itself, can you give us 3 words to describe what the atmosphere of your business is like?
Just 3, that's tough. I would say energetic, definitely informative, and I would have to say fun. I make sure everyone has a good job. So I think I think I handled that well. Yeah, 3 words. We can keep it there.
So why fun?
Because it's hard. You have excuse my language, but you have a select few people that are crazy enough to want to train all the time. You know, it's not a thing that people wake up, yeah, I'm gonna go make myself run a mile today. I'm gonna make myself, squat 400 or 500 pounds. Like, that's not an everyday thing that you want to do. So I try and make it as fun and interesting as possible, whether it's, cracking jokes in between sets, trying to, figure out, common things that my clientele and I have, TV shows, anything, movies like that. I don't know why I have icebreaker questions that I always go to, and they always work. They're just simple things, top 5, favorites, stuff like that. Because if you just say, well, do you like TV? Yes or no? That's simple. I want you to actually be able to express how you feel, and, just make it fun. Instead of it just being, hey, I'm going to torture you for an hour, and then you're going to go home. That does no one any good.
Yeah, that's good, man. It's like you're keeping the personal in the training.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Gotcha, okay.
All right, so now we're going to move into a segment we like to call
Fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank for all the viewers out there is where we state a sentence, and the entrepreneur, he has to finish it. So are you ready?
Oh, y'all are putting me on the spot today. Let me sit upright. Yeah.
You ready?
All
right. In my spare time, I love to
study.
The purpose of our business is to
expand minds.
Hey, he quick with it.
I like that though. It's found on that more though, for the viewer.
Because it's easy to change the physical. So, someone can lose 20 pounds and it's not a big deal. But what is it that made that person want to lose those 20 pounds? We have to start there and then understand habits that cause them to want to make that change, and make sure that after they've lost that 20 pounds, that they don't go back to those old changes. So that's why I say expand on the mind.
Okay. If I could go anywhere in the world, it would be
Africa.
Africa. Why?
Somewhere I haven't been, somewhere I want to know where I'm from, technically in the region. And again, those are where some of the most, of course we have them in America, but those are where some of the most beautiful people, and that's the origin. So I definitely want to go back there.
Gotcha. Okay. If your life story had a movie title, it would be
Out the Mud.
Out the Mud.
Because everything I do, everything I've worked for has been something that I've had to work for. And as the Most High built us from clay, I would like to think I'm building Go Hard training systems like that out the place.
I like that. You threw a slick scripture in there.
You gotta get your prayers on every now and again. You gotta sprinkle it in.
Okay, so if the plug for Black-owned business was to invest $1 million into you, what would you do? The first thing.
Turn it into a huge profit and give back to, well, my alma mater, Henrico High School. I'm sorry. I'm a warrior all day long. But
man.
the community,
Springers.
look, we not gonna start all that. Hey, look, y'all are going to the championship. Hey, I can't say anything. But I would start there because I grew up there too.
Yeah.
And then I would build and expand, especially like the city schools, man. The city schools need love. So
Yeah.
I would definitely just give back to the community and make sure we build in a way that not only do they get better, but the business and the investment turns over profit as well.
That's good.
I hear this, man. He dropping some gems for y'all.
Yes, I don't know if y'all
Man.
support the Henrico thing, but the stuff that he's saying though, y'all
Look,
definitely
this is a
support
Henrico
it.
product you have here, so we can't be that bad.
Nah, big ups to Henrico, big ups to the 804 area.
Absolutely.
So my next question to you is, because I know that being in the training field and also being an athlete growing up, that sometimes, being committed to working out is hard. So what would you say to those viewers out there that may be struggling with being committed to working out?
And that's a tough one, and I get that question quite often. The biggest thing is I tell them, translate this to life. As simple as it may seem, if you squat every day, that translates to you getting up and out of the chair. We all have that elderly family member that can't get up and out of the chair.
Yeah.
So it's like, understand if you can get this down pat, stuff that you're going to do on an everyday basis is a whole lot easier for you. Honestly, the commitment side of it, I'm going to speak to athletes first. In your everyday life, if you commit to the weight room, it's been proven through studies after studies after studies. If you commit to the weight room, you will commit to the field, and the translation of your work in the weight room will come there. Saquon Barkley, Adrian Peterson, guys like that. They were weight room freaks, but at the same time on the field, they are freaks of athletes. Like, it's just, they set themselves apart. And then to my, I won't say my regular folk, but my everyday athletes, because not everyone is world class, but still at the end of the day, you perform certain movements that technically may deem you athletic. But when it comes to everyday life, if you slack off at work, you don't get paid. If you slack off in the weight room, you won't get the results. If you get to your job and you're late, you get docked. If you get to the weight room late, you're taking time away from how great you can become. So it all translates. You have to look at it as a bigger perspective. Sometimes it's the elephant effect. We're so close to the thing that we only see right there in front of us. I'm going to the weight room today, and I don't really feel like working out today.
Yeah.
That's cool, but do you feel like being able to walk 30 years from now? Do you feel like being able to play with your kids 30 years from now? So if you can tie your everyday life into your training, I think that's where you see the commitment have a stronger bond, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
big.
makes a lot of sense. So I got one more question for you. So as far as Go Hard Training Systems, what made you so passionate about starting this company and reaching out to other people so that way you can touch them in their health, and expand their mind on how they view their physical health?
I think for me, a lot of it had to do with my upbringing. I have quite a few entrepreneurs in my family, stylists, truck drivers, things like that. So entrepreneurship naturally was in my blood, if you will. And then my biggest influence for me was my high school strength and conditioning coach, Coach Kevin Hunter. Shout out to him because he did come back home to Henrico, so glad about that. But he was a huge influence on me, and I knew I wanted to do something that involved the human body, whether it was chiropractic care, massage therapy, something. At a young age, I knew that. I don't know, the movement of the body fascinates me. But seeing his passion and how much better I got from it and how I responded to him, I was like, yo, that's what I want to do as a strength coach. But then again, the entrepreneurship came in. It was like, well, how do I make this my own rather than, working on someone else's time? And it was a beautiful thing. Run your own training company. So that's what drove me the most to do this. And I'm happy with it so far. And I'm definitely excited for where I'm going.
Awesome.
Because one of the things that's very important is for the consumers is if they can actually trust who they're doing business with and who they investing their money into. So how can, the viewers, how can you reassure them that your business is true and that you are true to what you promise?
Absolutely. Well, the biggest thing for my business is not one of those trendy things. You know, in the fitness and performance industry, a lot of times you get trendy stuff. So anything that you see on social media, everyone does stuff for the likes. Like, I've seen videos of having people squat 300 pounds on a Bosu ball, and that's a disc that moves around a lot and is very unstable. That's not going to benefit you. And so the biggest thing I want to focus on is individual goals, individual needs. Make sure that that person feels special. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when people go to corporate gyms, and I won't throw any names out there, it's almost like you're just a number.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily like a person. And I make sure that whether it's a team that I'm training, whether it's a small group or it's one person, I make sure that each individual gets the care that they need. And thankfully, I've been blessed that most of the clients I deal with, not only do they say, yeah, we've hit some physical goals, but mentally they're more confident. Emotionally, they're more stronger. They're stronger. They're more able to express themselves. It's a big difference in what I do compared to what other gyms do. And there's some great gyms in the area. I'm never going to knock that. But I just know what I do sets myself apart, definitely.
Yes. Why is it important for our people to support black businesses? And why is it important for black businesses to pour back into our community?
I mean, it's strength when it comes back to it. No pun intended, but I couldn't help that one. But when you talk about, it's first and foremost, it's something special about black anything. And I mean, as far as the people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's strength in the color, yes, but when you talk about the people, it's something that if you're not black, you can't understand it. You can study it all you want to, but you can't understand it. And then when the people are united, I mean, we do some amazing things. You think about Black Wall Street, how powerful that was before it was taken down. You look at how strong it is, you know, I'm just going to go based off the NFL right now, for the protesting that's been going on the past couple of years. It's not as united as we would want, but you see the strength. It's powerful when we communicate and when we collectively do something together. So
absolutely,
it's important for people to support black businesses because they are your people at the end of the day.
Yes.
And then when you think about it, when you need something, those are the first people you call. You don't call Bob that you work with, you know, at the job or anything like that. You call your cousin or your auntie or your grandmother because those are the people that you trust and rely on. So that's why it's important. And it goes in reverse. And it's important for black businesses to report or support the community because that's what you start out with. I mean, I came from black. My mother, my father, I was raised by strong, beautiful black people. So who else would I support? Who else would I give back to? You know what I mean?
So why do you think the plug for BOB, Black Owned Business, for those who always say Bob, is beneficial to Go Hard Training Systems?
Because it's helping me reach a certain clientele base that maybe I don't have access to. Definitely, I do a poor job, and that's just a personal thing, of promoting myself. I focus so much on my work that I don't think about, you know, the recording, the editing, the promoting on social media and stuff, and that's something that I have to get better at. So this is not only a great reminder, but it is a great push for me to do that more because if you guys are supporting me and promoting me, I have to work just twice as hard just to do it. So I definitely appreciate this platform.
No problem, brother.
So now can you just allow the viewers to know where you can be reached?
All right, so GoHardTrainingSystems.com. I'm not going to take the time to spell it out. It's not a spelling bee. You can contact me at the phone number 804-908-0320, or you can email me at GoHardTrainingSystems@gmail.com.
How does it feel to be plugged in?
Man, it feels great. Blessing. Appreciate you, fellas.
All right, we out. Y'all go support Go Training Systems.
I fell in love with the plug. I fell in love with the plug. I fell in love with the plug. He be showing me so much love.